Parallel and perpendicular slopes. So before we go into parallel and perpendicular slopes, we have to remember what slope is. Slope we write as m, which is rise over run, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or change in y over change in x. This is review. My first claim is that if two lines are collinear, meaning the same line, then they have the same slope. So if we look at this, the red line has this slope of up 1, right 2. So that's a slope of 1/2. This line, this blue line, also has a slope right 1 over 2. It's a slope of 1/2. Of course, because they're the same line, they'll have the same slope. So that is always going to be true. Now this isn't a proof, but this is a true claim. If two lines are perpendicular, then their slopes are negative reciprocals. So we already showed this line has a slope of 1/2. And this line has a slope of down 2 and right 1. So this slope is negative 2 over 1. This is what I mean by negative reciprocals, meaning one of them is negative, and reciprocal, meaning if we flip these, 1 over 2, negative 2 over 1. So that's what I mean by negative reciprocals, that we can change these and they have negative slopes. Now, the actual way of showing this will involve something that we haven't learned yet, using the fact that a triangle has 180 degrees in it. So we'll be able to say that based off of these angles, we'll be able to show that this is the case. And another claim, one maybe more straightforward to see, is that if two lines are parallel, then they have the same slope as well. And you can see this here. This is 1 over 2. This also has a slope of 1 over 2. So parallel lines have equal slopes. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So what I mean by negative reciprocals, if I have 3/4, then that turns into negative 4/3. If I have 7/8, I'm talking about negative 8/7. If I have 3, then that turns into negative 1 over 3. If I have negative 6/11, then that turns into positive 11/6. Those are all negative reciprocals. So here are a few questions checking, are lines parallel, perpendicular, coinciding, or none of the above? So these lines, well, this slope is 10 minus 4 over 5 minus 0, so 6/5. This slope is up 4, right 4, so this is a slope of 1. So 6/5, is that equal to 1? No. Are they negative reciprocals? No. So none of these. For this, here our slope is negative 3. Here our slope is 1/3. Are those negative reciprocals? Yes. Negative 3 turns into positive 1 over 3. So these are perpendicular. Here, we went up 6 and up 1. So the slope here is 6 over 1, or 6. Here we went up 12, and here we went up 2. So 12 over 2 is 6. So they're either parallel or coinciding, but because we see that these points are different, we can tell that they are not coinciding. These are parallel. And lastly here, these are reciprocals, but they're not negative reciprocals. Both of them are positive. Therefore, this is also none of these. Thanks.